Greetings, Terrarians, Khaios here. I had just finished a live stream where I worked on the Buildy Bunch server for a bit, and I'm going to get continuing on what I started on that live stream. If you haven't checked out my live streams, this was only my second one. I plan to do these once a week. They will be on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is about 5 p.m. GMT or 1 p.m. Eastern. So what I've been working on is a farm up here where I'm going to be building a Rod of Discord farm because I really want one, but this will also be a great place to farm for some money and possibly some other drops as well. This will be a great place for mimics. So what I did is I came up here and used explosives to clear out the granite biome that was in this area, and I did that all on live stream. And I also filled in the bottom layer with dirt. So the plan is to try and incorporate this Hoik elevator into the farm design. And I think that I can make it in such a way that chaos elementals cannot teleport to me. And I think that I can also make it so that the enchanted swords are unable to spawn, so that I can have a completely AFK farm for the Rod of Discord or other loot and gold. And at this point, I'm just figuring out exactly what to do next. I need to raise the roof a little bit, and I need to build this up a little bit as well, because I'm going to go for the typical volcano pit. It's probably not going to be a volcano cone shape, but it's definitely going to be a lava pit, and I want to have my player trapped within the Hoik. I'm not sure if I'm going to be considered moving the entire time or not, because that's what's going to determine if chaos elementals can spawn. Really good progress has been made on the farm. While I make a bunch of gold making the farm, I got to keep making sure that I stash it in my piggy bank before I die, because that happens a lot. But the area is now complete from the left to the right. I just need to close off this side over here. I had all of this opened up. I decided to bomb it off after I double checked, and it looks like we've got about 84 tiles to the left of the right of where the player will be stuck, which means this is 90 here, just to give myself a little bit of extra wiggle room, because I'm going to be placing a trap over there as well, and I'll explain why I'm going to do that in a little bit. But so this is going to be one wall, the other wall's equal distance on the other side, and the ceiling is going to be way up here. However, enemies can't spawn any lower than this while I'm stuck in that Hoik, but they could spawn up here, so I'm going to use some sticky bombs and sticky dynamite. If I have any left, I might go purchase some to raise this section up and clear all of this area out. And then I'm just going to fill in this wall with dirt right over here as well. And once that's done, I'm going to light up this area. I don't want any background walls over here, obviously, because that would prevent monster spawns, but I will place some lamps over here so that we can see what's going on. And then I'll get into that trap thing, and this will be where the lava pool is going to be. I'm going to show you exactly how I plan to trap enemies in here. So let me just work on getting rid of all of this stuff. Okay, so let's grab a dart trap. We're going to place one right in here. Now, when a dart trap is up against a wall or a block just like this, it could still shoot through that block. So that's why I'm going to put it there. I just feel like it's a better fit in the middle. You could place it right along the edge if you're going to build a farm like this. I'm going to do one more on this side right here, facing in this direction. Now with both of those, I'm going to grab this green wire here, and I'm going to connect them up, hopefully without getting myself killed. And I suppose I should rewire that so it doesn't go through all of my lamps. Okay, hold on, redo. There we go. Oh. Well, I mean, at least I got the wire done first. So the way that this wire is going to work is whenever I'm trapped in the Hoik area, this weighted pressure plate here is going to turn on this 3-second timer, and that is going to activate rather, these dart traps every 3 seconds. And it's going to shoot those darts on cooldown. Whenever they're ready, they're just going to shoot. Now, obviously, these dart traps don't do a whole lot of damage, especially to master mode enemies at this point in the game. They just simply aren't going to kill them. But what these darts are here for is waking up any mimics that happen to spawn. Because if a mimic isn't attacked, or if a player doesn't approach it, it's just going to sit in its chest form and not actually do anything at all. So whenever anybody is standing in this spot right here, these darts will shoot across, hit mimics, which will then activate and start charging the player and come in towards this middle where the lava pit is. Up next, I need to make an area in here that will box in enemies, especially the bats. That's going to be the big one, because they could fly in and out of this lava pit, and they're going to try and get at me, but I need them to stay in here so they don't fly away and just slow down the farm. I mean, dying slows down the farm too, but I'm too busy explaining things. And I need to close off that actuated bit right here. In order to do that, I just have it open so that I can get into the farm right now. But obviously, once I have lava in here, I'm going to need this closed off. At the time of editing this, the channel is just on the cusp of hitting 190,000 subscribers, which is absolutely nuts considering it was not too long ago that we hit 100k. Only 10,000 more people to go until the next milestone is hit, and I can't express how thankful I am to you all for joining. We went from 75% of my viewers being unsubscribed to 53% of you being subscribed, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you all very much for helping me out. Now, as we get closer to that 200k goal, I would greatly appreciate it if you're enjoying my content and you haven't subscribed yet, if you would consider helping us reach that goal. Let's be honest, most of us don't subscribe to the content creators that we enjoy watching. I myself have been guilty of this in the past as well. But the fact of the matter is, subscribing really does help that content creator out. Sure, subscriptions don't necessarily equal views, but the YouTube algorithm does notice when a channel is getting a spike in new subscriptions. That's basically you telling it that you enjoy my videos, which gets the algorithm to promote my videos to newer viewers, which helps the channel grow. Plus, you're more likely to get notified of my new videos when I upload them when you're subscribed, and even more so if you hit that notification bell afterwards. So if you would like to help the channel hit its next milestone, I would greatly appreciate it. And to everybody that's already subscribed, thank you so much. In the next milestone video, I will be doing a Q&A, so if you have any burning questions that you would like to ask me, let's crush that milestone. So as these fine specimens are testing out right here, they can enter this trap, but they cannot leave. And I could even shoot in there from the outside to exemplify that even more. I could bring out my minions and they'd be able to attack there as well. I don't know if they'll actually pathfind to try it. Let's find out, I'm curious. No, so they think that there's a wall there, because there's a wall there, but these platforms that have been sloped and actuated are a hoik that allow you and enemies and projectiles, anything, to pass through this area, but it can't leave again. So that's what's going to trap everything in here. I obviously have a hole in the ceiling right now, so I could come out here and show you guys safely everything that's going on with that trap, but the only things left to do are to make this area hollow, close off that top, and then add a bucket of lava there. So this farm is pretty much done. I can't wait to test it out. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time adding in the hollow blocks, which I'm going to be replacing much of the ground beneath me with some pearlstone block. And I might even do a few rows above it, above the farm with this as well. That way we have some means of obtaining some crystal shards fairly easily. So I'm just going to get all of that built right up. In addition to the Pearl Stone, I realized that I was lacking one critical item for use in this farm, a water candle. I want to be able to increase the spawn rate of enemies while I'm in the farm. I know that many of you in the comment section might say, but Khaios, you're playing in journey mode, just crank up the spawn rate to 10 times. And normally I might just do that, but when we created this server we set some house rules to make the playthrough more enjoyable to us, and in that we decided not to use journey mode to trivialize farming, earning money, gear, or equipment. Now, in the past we've used 10 times spawn rate, and we will in the future. The difference between those instances and this one is that we had to fight those added monsters, and that often led to our deaths. We see that as acceptable because the increased spawn rate comes with an added challenge. You're working harder in that instance. But in the case of an AFK farm like this, you are not in any danger. You don't have an increased challenge from a higher spawn rate, so at least to me, it feels disingenuous to use a farm like this with journey mode increased spawn rate given our house rules on the server. So that means obtaining and researching a water candle since I forgot to grab one when we first explored the dungeon. After that, I just needed to place down some Pearl Stone and then test the farm. So I do have hello enemies spawning here. I have a bunch of Pearl Stone down below, but it looks like I might need to rethink the way that I set up this hoik here, because yeah, it looks like the illuminate slimes get stuck on it, which is highly unfortunate. Now, I don't necessarily need to kill them to get the Rod of Discord. Obviously, I have to kill Chaos Elementals. But the unfortunate side to that is eventually enough of them will spawn that I'll hit my spawn cap and there will be nothing but those enemies in here. So I need some way to take care of them. I'm not sure if the darts will push them through with a little bit of knockback. I can test that out. Let me just deal with this hallowed mimic, and maybe I'll even get a bow for Blue Jay. Nope. But I did get a melee weapon. I'll see if it's going to be of any use to TLC or Fury. Clear this area out as well. And I guess I'll close this off and test out whether or not the knockback can push these slimes in. So let's find out. I'm just going to wait for everything to despawn. Let's grab my actuation rod. I'm probably going to have to re-go into this actually. No, we're in here. Okay, cool. So those darts are going off. Everything's going to come into the area, and let's see if the slimes can still make their way in. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. I'm really curious to see. Wow, I was not expecting a hallowed mimic. How did that... Should that not spawn while I'm behind a background wall? I thought background walls prevented any enemies that can go through blocks from spawning. I'm gonna have to look into that because that could be a serious problem for my farm. Hold on. So I'm going to just assume that the hallowed mimic was because this was open when I first got up here, and now that I'm in here and it's closed, I haven't had one spawn since. I do have a bunch of other enemies, non-hello enemies spawning, and I thought that changing out the top layer of blocks might change that. Doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be a mix of hallowed and cavern enemies. I'm not quite sure why, but that's what's going on here. By actuating these slopes and inactuating them, these smaller illuminate slimes can get through. The mother slimes still get caught on it. That's why I placed 2 more dart traps shooting up here so they eventually whittle down. Now the final component to this is a frog leg. It's going to shake the camera quite a bit, but you have to be moving for chaos elementals to spawn. I'm constantly jumping up and down, so this should help with the spawn of chaos elementals. Okay, so I tweaked this around a little bit so that I have more of a jump, and unfortunately I had to dig into this a little bit more because I wasn't getting any spawns and I was curious as to why. And it turns out The problem is, in fact, that they can't spawn if I'm standing in front of a player-placed wall. So the thing that's preventing the mimics, the Hello Mimics to spawn, and things that are preventing the enchanted swords from spawning are also preventing the chaos elementals from spawning. So I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to bring down a couple of heart statues, add them to the timer, and add this Hoik back in, because I think that was working a little bit better than not having it, because it was able to trigger the timer. So I'm going to add those 2 blocks right there, place them like this, and then jump in this position. And I'm going to get rid of these background walls right here. This means that this farm probably won't be truly AFK, because as you can see here, the second that I get that, we got that sword coming in, polishing me off. So I don't think this can actually be an AFK farm, unfortunately. At least not in master mode. This thing just hits way too hard, which is unfortunate, but I'm still going to use this farm. I am bound and determined at this point, because I've gone through way too much work with this farm to just let it slide here. Of course, I'm going to get constant enchanted sword spawns now. That's not fun. But I am getting chaos elementals now. That's what I need. I'm gonna look into this and see if there's any way that I can fully AFK it. Unfortunately, I think I would need things like traps from the temple, but you can't get access to those traps until you've defeated Plantera. So I don't really want to wait that long to get my Rod of Discord. So what I think I'm going to do is just manually farm it from this position using this weapon here, this Crystal Vial Shard, Vial Crystal Shard. Crystal Vial Shard was right. To just speed things along and get myself my Rod of Discord in here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the next day. I've spent a few hours farming at here. We've done a lot of slaying. Unfortunately, as you can see here by the enchanted sword, this is not an AFK farm. I could probably tweak it to help out with the enchanted swords if I lowered the difficulty off of master mode, but that's no longer going to be necessary. That's because just a second ago, I obtained, let me pull out my Void Vault there, the Rod of Discord. Yeah, and it only took over 1,400 Chaos Elementals to obtain. So yeah, as you can see here, I've done an absolute ton of grinding at this little box. It's fantastic. Just put on some chill music, put on a couple of YouTube videos, just relax, have a nice dinner while I farm. Yeah, so I have my Rod of Discord. It's awesome. I'm super excited. I thought it would come sooner than 1,400 of these guys. I thought it'd be closer to 900 or 800, but I have it eventually. You know, patience prevails. Obviously, as you can see here, I now have the enchanted daggers from the blade staff. I've actually got quite a few of those to drop. I've been going back and forth from my farm to the vendors and storage a fair bit, so I'm currently carrying 1 platinum on me. But if I pull out my money trough here, you'll see I'm actually up to 33, almost 34 once I deposit those in. Oh, over 34 once I deposit those in. So I've got inventory that I need to clear out, obviously. My void bag is starting to fill up again. My inventory is full. I need to consider changing this. I don't want this to be a Hallow farm forever. I'd like to make it an AFK mimic farm. But before I do that, I think I'm going to give the others a chance to use this farm to try and get Rods of Discord themselves, if they want to. If they don't want to, I'll just convert this into an AFK mimic farm. I'll be super happy about it, and then I'll just make a bunch of money out of this thing. At this point, I went on to build something new on the server, which I was going to put in this video, but as I'm editing, I realized that this is already nearly a 20-minute long video. I don't really want to make it 40 minutes or longer, so I'm going to save that build for another in-between video. That means this is all I have time for today. I got the farm built, and I even got myself a Rod of Discord plus a lot of other loot. I'm very excited about it. Stop by tomorrow for the next video on the Buildy Bunch server. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll catch you all later. Happy building!